But I also wanted your thoughts on, you can feel that Dr. Peterson does not like certainty. And he did not like when
Mm,
when there was a lot of, if you like, from hijab's perspective, I'm saying not like not in a way that he was upset, but in a way that he wanted to push back on it. You know, his certainty when it came to the Islamic paradigm, because when it comes to, when someone pushes him back, like you alluded to earlier, he would not say, yes, I believe that. He would say, well, I pretend that like that is true. I pretend like it's true that there
mm.
is a God. So he doesn't like certainty. What are your thoughts on this? Because this is in a way his critics and his opponents, the skeptics, this is their narrative. You know, they don't like that
Mm.
certainty as well.
You know what? It comes back to, it's strange. I always have to come back to Ghazali. Look, the one thing I'm sure of, I'm only sure of one thing. I'm sure of La ilaha illallah. That's it. This I'm certain of. I know that via direct experience. Period. The death of all paradigms. There's only one way to state it. If all paradigms die, if all your paradigms were to die, you would be left in the state of the Shahadah. That's it. There's nothing left. You can't eliminate any further. You can't doubt any further. Doubt now becomes proof. You've reached the point of you can't question no further. You can't. There's no other rock to look under. This is the last point. Human beings, we come to a position where we scrutinize our beliefs so much. Philosophers, theologians, you scrutinize your beliefs so much that you get to the point where you realize there's a point of awareness, and then you strike out there's a point, because that's just presupposition, and then you have the state of awareness, and the perfect way to describe it is La ilaha illallah. I am certain of this. My people think that there's this cloud behind their eyes, that this consciousness is trapped inside this flesh. No. It's the opposite. Your flesh, this thing you call flesh, this body, is trapped in this consciousness, in this point of awareness. It's the other way around. It's the other way around. If you read Al-Ashari, if you read, understand Ghazali, he's telling you, no, it's the other way around. It's not consciousness in a meat puppet. It's a meat puppet in consciousness. And that meat puppet is not a meat puppet as you would think.
I like
Okay, it's
that.
not. It's the other way around. And if you kill every single idol, if you see through every single idol, everything with a blemish of doubt has to go. You end up with nothing left but La ilaha illallah. You end up with this. And this is where we start from. This is where you start from. When you become Muslim, what do we ask you to say? We ask you to take the Shahadah. We start from here. This we're certain of. Descartes, if you read the Meditations, he's like, look, I'm going to throw away all my math, all my history, all my science, all my geometry. And he was a mathematical genius, of course, a scientific genius. He said, I'm going to start from something so certain I cannot doubt. And he came with the cogito. This was exactly, he did this 600 years after Ghazali. This is exactly what Ghazali did. He's like, look, where's the starting point? This thing I can't doubt, and I can build everything upon it. And Ghazali realizes the meaning of La ilaha illallah. He realizes that it's the death of all paradigms. It's the death of everything with a possible blemish. You can't doubt no more. Doubt now becomes a proof. Okay, now this is a very special position to find yourself in. You really have to go on that journey of cross-examining everything in existence. So if we're talking at that level, I agree with Peterson. We can only trust in one thing, God. We're certain because we know that intuitively. Everything else we know, we believe, we have faith in, because there's a difference between knowledge and belief. There's knowledge, and then there's a high probability, certain beliefs, very strong beliefs, very adamant beliefs, things that I'm very certain of. But I'm never knowing them in the same way I know the Shahadah. The Shahadah is direct. It is known. You couldn't convince me otherwise. I don't care how many scientific experiments you come up with. I don't care how many books Dawkins writes. I don't care what you say. It's not a logical. I didn't know it purely logically. I knew it via firsthand experience. So barring that, I know nothing. I only know one thing. Everything else, I have a strong faith. That includes geometry, science, physics, history, all of that, all of it. I have a strong faith. I use the word know figuratively, but I only really know, capital K here, one thing. Everything else, because when the Quran says وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ, God is one in a particular way. He exists in a particular way. He's unique in a particular way. Nothing else is like him. And what does this mean? If you understand Ghazali, he's telling you, look, he is known without blemish. Everything else is known with a blemish via concept, via, like, human beings are part flesh, part concept. We're part, ship of thesis. We're part theory. We're part concept. We're part paradigm. It's a very long discussion to have, but when they will talk about it, there's a type of dualism to humans. There's a type of dualism.
Mm-hmm.
There are parts to human beings. God is particular, singular, unblemished, knowable in one way only. Knowable. He's in one category by himself, knowable without blemish. So this is a gift from God. If you understand Ghazali, you would understand what I'm saying right now. Everything else, we believe. Yes, we believe. But the Quran tells you, it says in the Quran, it says, you don't know about Noah, the story of Noah. God had to inform you about the story of Noah. We take the story of Noah we believe it, we take it upon authority. The Quran says it, we take it by authority. I didn't witness the story of Noah. You didn't witness the story of Noah. The Quran is telling us that. The Quran is telling us, look, you wouldn't have known these things if we didn't inform you. You would not know. Our faith is not based on something that happened in the past. Those were miracles for the people of Noah. We just say, look, we're from the same chain. Yes, we believe in them. We have a faith that it's true. We believe in it's true. And tomorrow we might find scientific evidence for it to be totally true. And it might increase our faith. But we don't know that like we know God. God is known directly. It's known intuitively. It's called innatism. We know when we hear the Quran, Ibn Tufal wrote this beautifully. He's explained that Islam is a natural religion that you're born with, and it's a real revealed religion. They're parallel to one another. The Quran is the reminder, and this is why the Quran calls itself the reminder. The Quran calls himself the reminder, reminding you of what? The religion you already know. And it's a pure religion. It's not mixed with anything from the dunya. We don't add to it. We don't subtract. It just is. And this is the only thing we should be putting in a special category. Let's call it that. A special category, and it's unique in this sense. I tell people, look, I believe in morality. For me, morality is without doubt. So you can say your postmodernist can tell me that right and wrong is relative. I'm going to disagree with him. And it's okay that I disagree with him. And it's okay he disagrees with me. That's he let him live his consequences. I'm going to live my consequences. I'm not scared for him. He's not scared for me. The Quran says to the Prophet, don't fall over because they don't accept your message. Don't be distressed. Don't be in distress, because just convey the message and that's it. Tell people what you believe. Here's why I believe it. If we have a difference of opinion, that's you, that's me. You accept your consequences for your beliefs, your lifestyle. I accept the consequences for my belief and my lifestyle, and let live, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like that you mentioned about morality also being something that we believe in, absolutely, because when it comes to these postmodernist sort of perspectives, they still have to eventually come back to something sacred, something which is going to be unchallengeable, something axiomatic. And for us, we start off with something that we know beyond propositional evidence, which is Tawheed, which is La ilaha illallah, which is the very foundation of our worldview.